Hello, and welcome back to another stream on the Haunted Hippie channel. It's been a minute. I've been traveling and I've been visiting family, and how fitting that I should be bringing a family member onto the channel today. It's been a while, but today we have the long-awaited return of one Father Hippie. There he is.
Hello, everybody. I got a new shirt for this from Haunted Hippie. And so my wife took some clothespins. You could see them so that you guys could actually see my shirt. It was just given to me by my daughter for my most recent birthday.
Yeah, it does fit him. It does. I got him the right size, I promise.
It's just the level of the camera.
You guys can never see his shirts. I mean, we talked about the
Even
Jaws franchise, and
yeah.
my mom totally DIY'd this cool Jaws shirt, and then you couldn't even really see it. So yeah,
Here's one last shot of my shirt, which I really like.
Yeah, we clipped it up for him this time so that you could see it at least for a little while. He might take the clips off, but
I'll probably take them off now.
Now? All right.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, anyway, today we're ranking the Alien franchise. It is going to be a spoiler-filled ranking of all 9 films, so including the Alien vs. Predator films. And you'll have to give us just a little bit of a break today. We are not... I don't know. I guess you can't really consider us mega fans yet because we both have seen majority of these movies for the first time. So, let's take the pressure off and just don't count on us to remember every single kill and all that good stuff from the franchise. But
it's a lot of information. This is the most work I've ever done. It's 9 movies, of which, I was seeing Alien for I don't know how many times. I've seen Aliens for multiple times. Saw Prometheus for the second time. I went back to the theater and saw Alien Romulus on Friday night, so I've seen that twice.
I'm really interested to see how your opinion has changed, because if you guys are not on the Patreon, we talked about Alien Romulus for quite a bit on one of our last episodes, and my dad was not super impressed. So this is going to be brand new information for me today, seeing where he ranks it and everything. But do you want to see who joined us today, Dad?
Yes.
Let's see who's here. All right. We got John, regular. Welcome. Hello. All the movies are loved, even the weakest. I can find things to love about every movie, kind of, for the most part, I think. Hey, King of the Dead, great seeing you. Mad Attack. Yep, I forgot. We're gonna get a whole bunch of great nicknames for my dad. I call him Father Hippie. That one's really stuck with me, but you guys call him whatever. Hello, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing today, Dad? I didn't even ask.
I am doing pretty well. I've been getting all ready for this. It's my first live stream of 2024, if you can believe that.
I know you've been gone for way too long. It's been a long-awaited return, at least for me.
I've missed everyone.
Also, I'm gonna, because of my eye line where my monitor is, I'm just gonna swap places so it looks like I'm looking at you. It's a little bit better. Okay. Hey, Ryan made it. Great to rank the Alien franchise. Yeah, I did. I wasn't initially gonna include the Alien vs. Predator movies because I was like, I feel like I need to watch all the Predator movies to do that, but you really don't. So yeah, I'm glad to. Oh, that was your gateway to both franchises. Nice. Hey, Jason. I do think this is true, actually. Yeah. Hey, Paige. Yeah, glad to see you return to the channel, Dad. Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. You haven't seen a single one? Oh my gosh. I've loved this franchise. Wow. Just first of all, I've enjoyed myself so much rewatching the ones I had seen and then watching all the ones I hadn't. I really, really enjoyed myself. Let's see. Oh, love the t-shirt. Matt, you're part of the corporation. He's part of the company.
Part of the company. Bioweapons.
Oh, and the ambiance. I totally switched things up today. I'm liking the setup too. Hey, Papa Bear Hippie. I think that's new. That's a good one. Hello. As a super fan of Alien, I can help. We appreciate it. You guys can sort of pick up our slack. The shirt is fire. Thank you, guys. I picked it out, more of a fan of the Predator films. I guess maybe that's what we'll have to do next, Dad. I don't know.
I know. I was
Ooh.
thinking about that last night when I was watching the second AV, what do they call it?
AVP.
AVP
Yeah.
film last night.
Yeah, because the original Predator movie with Arnold, with our boy,
Yeah,
I'm not crazy about, but I loved Prey. And so I'm
right.
thinking there have got to be some really good ones in the franchise. And I enjoyed the Alien vs. Predator movies too. Hey Chris, gonna cause drama with my Alien ranking. Me too. I don't know, not to spoil the ranking, but I think that people are gonna be really, really unhappy with me. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. But yes, we are including AVP, the Matinator. That is a classic nickname as well. Yeah.
Ryan.
Oh yeah, happy to have you too. Hell yeah, welcome. Oh my gosh, I hope you get to it soon. That's all right. I mean, I just don't want to spoil things for you if you haven't seen the whole franchise. But anyway, do we want to kick things off? Because we've got 9 movies to talk about. So if you guys want to start putting your number 9s in the chat, this is the only one. Actually, I was going to say this. Our dead last ranking might be the only one that we agree on, but I'm not sure. So, Dad,
I don't know about that. That'd be interesting.
Okay, all right. What is your number 9 then, Dad?
AVP Requiem.
Okay, that's reasonable, I feel like. So why is that your least favorite out of all 9?
I felt like it was the least alien-ish, predator-ish of all of these 9 films.
Fair enough.
It fell more into, I don't know, whatever, Scream, Nightmare on Elm Street. It just didn't have the same kind of vibe to me at all.
Like, not... I feel like with your comparison to Scream and slashers and stuff, I feel like it definitely doesn't feel like as much of a sci-fi movie. It's more...
Right.
Yeah. It doesn't feel as sci-fi. Also, it's so ugly. It's not my number 9, but the one of the biggest complaints about that movie is how dark it is, how you just can't see anything. Yeah, it's just it's just not cinematic.
It's not. I'm glad somebody else said that, because I was finding the same problem, because this is the movie that I watched last. I watched it last night. And I thought it was really hard to see a lot of the things that were going on during the movies. Yeah,
that's the number 1 complaint. And it was my biggest complaint about the movie too. And then also, a lot of the movie looks like it was made for TV. Some of the Alien vs. Predator stuff does look good. And I'm like, okay, I can kind of see the $40 million budget here. But then when... I don't know, with the pizza delivery guy and the girl and some of the drama with that, when that was going on, I was like, I feel like I'm watching just like a made for TV, like, you know, TM or what is it called?
TMC.
TMC. Yeah. I'm like, what is this? A TMC original made for TV? I don't know. But that's actually not my number 9. Hey, Leanne is here. That's my best friend from Scotland, everybody. Hey. Let's see. Oh, I didn't rank them. I'm here for the vibes. Okay, no worries. So people were still saying hi once we got started, but then I'll also get to people's number 9s and share mine.
King of the Dead.
Yeah. Oh, Desi's here. Can't rank. I haven't seen all these. Promise you Prometheus is last. It's the only movie I've ever fallen asleep in a theater during. Oh my God, you're crazy. Resurrection is number 9. Hey. Number 9, we've got Alien 3. Not as bad as some of the others. It's the hardest for me to sit through. It's so ugly to look at. Plot choices in the beginning are disrespectful to the fans of Aliens. That is actually my number 9 as well, is Alien 3. I completely agree. The choice to kill off, I can't remember their names. I'm not good with the names of the characters in this franchise at all. I remember Ripley and David and Ash, and I think that's about it. I think that's really about it. But yeah, the fact that in the beginning of Alien 3, they kill off 2 of the survivors, and it's like, after all they went through in Aliens, you're just gonna kill off. And I really like the actor, I forget his name, whatever his deal is, and the little girl. Just yeah, no, I found it disrespectful too. I'm usually not one to jump on a franchise for making a choice that like disrespects fans or something. But I just felt like that was disrespectful all around. They're gonna go through all of that, and then you're just gonna kill him off screen in between movies. Like, yeah, no, didn't like that. I felt like narratively it also just was like lazy, and yeah, that's my number 9 as well. Do you want to chime in, or are you going to talk about that one later, Dad?
I'll talk about that one later. I was just seeing if I had any other notes about my number 9, AVP, which is a new term that I just learned.
Yeah.
And Requiem. I learned that last couple of days. I agree with what you said. The made-for-TV movie, I was kind of what I didn't say it the right way, and I was talking about Scream and all that, but it just didn't have a big movie feel to it at all. It seemed kind of cheesy. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. It felt cheesier to me than any of the other movies. Not saying that that the other movies were also great. I did think it was interesting how they set up for a potential another movie when they gave that plasma pistol to Miss Cullen Yutani.
Oh, I definitely forgot about that part. In Requiem?
Yes.
Oh, see, I just watched these for the first time. I had never seen the Alien vs. Predator movies, and there are going to be details like that totally just slipped through for me, to be really honest. But
it's only because I have notes here, and
yeah.
The other thing is you think that in a movie that the government has replaced the company because of what the government does to the town.
Yeah.
But at the very end of the film, this CIA kind of guy who has an Air Force guy, an Army guy with him in a briefcase, goes in, opens the briefcase, and it's got the plasma predator weapon in it. And then she turns around, and that's when he says, here, and he gives it to her. So I thought that was kind of interesting. The other thing was I was keeping track of, I'm going to make a general statement we can discuss throughout. Did the Alien franchise set the super strong final girl of all time for the whole Alien series? So in this movie, Kelly, the army mother who came home from wherever she was, she's the final girl in this one. So I kept track of them, and I'm just wondering if people think that maybe beginning with 1979 and Ripley in the original Alien, it was just the strongest final girl as far as just being a strong...
in Requiem?
I'm talking about through the whole series. And in Requiem, each movie, I said Kelly was the final girl in this because she was. She was the only one that could fly the helicopter and all of that. And I'm just putting this out for discussion as we go through these movies. I made some notes as I was watching all these, and I go, everyone, but I think one I thought had a final girl. And I just think that, Sarah Connor from
Terminator.
But are there any other movie franchises, especially going back this far, which is 45 years, that show such a very strong final girl that's the hero? And
okay, so you're saying that the Alien franchise has produced the strongest final girls of horror. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. I'm asking the question because y'all have seen more horror than me. But, beginning with the original movie, I just thought that was kind of the point of all these movies in a lot of ways. So I'm just throwing that up there. So
all right, that'll be a topic of discussion for today. I'm gonna catch up with other people's number 9s because I'm way behind on the chat. Okay, so we've got some agreements with Alien vs. Predator Requiem at number 9. Good number 9 there, Matt. Ryan agrees. Such a disappointment after the first one. I feel like they got into all the backlash the first one had being PG-13, so the sequel feels in bad taste. The lighting sucks. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Let's see. Covenant is my least favorite. Can't stay awake past the first 15 minutes. I think you're the only person that has Covenant at the bottom. Are we counting Prometheus? Yeah, absolutely. We're counting all 9 films.
Yes.
It's a dark film, literally and figuratively. It is. It is. Number 9, also Requiem. The characters all suck. That too. Oh, Leanne, they're fun. I think they're fun. Oh my gosh, another one for Requiem. Maybe I should just say that that is my number 8 because everybody's talking about it right now. It's at everybody's
Yeah,
number
sure.
9. That one, yeah. But the thing is, Alien 3 is dead last for me because I think that I gave it 2 stars and I didn't give it a heart or anything. I really just don't like that movie. I also find that movie to be really ugly and a little bit rinse and repeat from the original film, but everything is just worse. And then it's the most, I think the most egregious CGI aliens. It's the most egregious CGI of the entire franchise. I'm pretty sure because I think everything, like even Resurrection, went back to all practical as far as I can tell. Besides maybe when they're like swimming in the water or something.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, Requiem. Since everyone's talking about it, that's at my number 8. Just for all the reasons listed. But unlike Alien 3, I did give Requiem a heart. I did because and I only give it 2.5 stars, but there were still things about it that I did enjoy. Um, for instance, the when the girl dies, because I feel like they set her up in the beginning as like, oh, she's the demure
Yeah,
girl.
Jesse. Yeah.
Jesse, she has the boyfriend who's the asshole, and then he's the nice guy that she really wants to be with. And it's like, okay, it's a really basic setup. So I really appreciated when she had a very quick, shocking, like they very
Yes,
unceremoniously killed
I
her off. I
agree
was
with
like,
that.
yes.
I thought that that was a good touch myself.
Yeah, I thought that was so funny. There were just little things like that in Requiem that I actually did kind of enjoy the film. Like it's one that I would rewatch it, and I think that I would be able to have fun. Even if I can't see the other action, there are a few scenes that are fun. Anyway,
I wanted to say one thing. I
yeah,
gave it 2.5, but it's pretty intense. You know,
yeah,
for a movie that's kind of goofy in a lot of ways, this band of people, why Dallas just got out of prison. I don't, they really never show why
we
that
don't
really
know.
matters. And you know, it's supposed to be breaking and entering. He says at one point, is that a skill? But it's this band of people. I didn't think they really got the Eddie and Dallas thing that they were looking for. They used to run together. One goes to prison, one becomes sheriff. But I have to say, the way the movie ends, they do a tactical nuke on a
Yeah,
city in Colorado and kill everybody.
yeah.
That's something to talk about.
It's intense. I think that on
It's
paper,
like, wow.
it like on paper, I think that it's a decent film. It just didn't if it wasn't so dark, like if you could actually see what was going on, I think it's a movie that a lot more people would like, actually. I think that I think there would be a consensus that it is an enjoyable film. Also because I even might dare to say that people would maybe enjoy it more than the first Alien vs. Predator because I'm pretty sure I'm looking at the whole list of 9 movies. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've ever seen the aliens in suburbia, right?
Right.
So that's fun. That's different. It's cool.
Yeah,
There's
it
an alien
is.
running around in the sewer system. Like,
Yeah.
there's good stuff there, and just the execution was so bad. Um, anyway,
I would definitely agree with you on that, that the execution was bad. It had potential because I kind of got hooked a little watching the first AVP.
mhm.
And then I felt like this one was just a big drop off.
And also, when the predator would be fighting the alien predator hybrid thing,
Yeah.
I wanted to be able to see it so bad because like what a cool concept. There's a little baby alien predator mix, that also had not been done before, obviously, like literally mixing the DNA of the alien and the predator. And so you have the alien and it's got the predator's thingies, but then it also has a little thing shooting out. And it's like there were really, really good ideas in the movie. It's so frustrating. But I see that people were mentioning Newt. I think Newt was the character that they killed off very unceremoniously in Alien
Right.
3.
Mhm.
And I forget the little girl's name.
That's Newt. That's the little
Hicks?
girl.
Oh,
Connie.
Newt was a little girl.
That's
Right.
the little girl. Mhm.
Right. Yes, I remember now. Okay. Yeah. And then Hicks, right? Were
Ryan is
killed
right.
off.
Ryan is right. Those are the two, Hicks and
Yeah.
I do want to say one more thing about Requiem. I wasn't sure what was going on half the time with the Alien and the Predator.
I couldn't tell who was fighting on
I
like which side.
Yeah, I didn't even know. I had to look it up today to realize that it was what some people are calling a predalien, and that it was a mixture.
Yep.
I didn't get any of that. I mean, when I went and read about it this morning, because I didn't feel like I knew everything, there's this whole thing going on that I never understood.
Oh,
And I think they should
no.
have done a better job
Yeah.
of
Lighting.
explaining kind of what's going on, because in the first one they talk about it and they workshop it to figure out what's happening in the first Predator AVP. But in this one, all of a sudden there's this fighting that comes out of the guy's chest, thing lands on Earth, then they show a guy on a planet, then he shows up, and I had no idea, as an example, that it was a predalien. No clue about that. I couldn't see any distinction most of the time between the alien and even the Predator.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly what the problem was, because it seemed like there was thought into the fighting choreography and all that. Just couldn't tell who was who. So that's a big problem. That's a big problem. Alien vs. Predator Requiem was a blessing and a curse. Can't see anything, which I kind of like. I don't want a slasher movie in my Alien, but it does hold some entertainment value for me. I can agree. I also I think it was the only movie of the franchise where it doesn't start out as a group of scientists or something. It was this ensemble and all these different characters. And for the first like 45 minutes or something, before they all converge, I was like, who am I supposed, these people don't even know each other. Who am I supposed to care about? Like, I'm just getting all the drama of, oh, mom's home. Oh, she broke up with her boyfriend and now they're going to hook up. And I was like, why am I'm watching two entirely different movies? So yeah, I definitely have a preference for the movies where there is a group and less of an ensemble. I like to know who my leading lady is, you know. Anyway,
one other thing I want to say. So this movie starts with a killing of a little kid, and the little kid saying his dad killed, which is pretty intense. And then it ends with the government doing a tactical nuke on Gunnison, Colorado. So those bookends are very, in the middle, they got off track.
Yeah, I know. Some serious stuff went down. It's too bad they didn't stick the landing. Alien is totally the franchise that started the strong final girl. She was used throughout the original 4 times, and some of the characters in the other movies give Ripley's vibes influential AF. I don't have my glasses on, sorry. Yeah, I think I would agree with that, because the final girls that came before Ripley, we have Jess in Black Christmas and we have Laurie in Halloween. And, you know, neither of them are scientists or military trained or space trained or anything like that. So, you know, Ripley was a woman in STEM. She was, you know what I mean? So yeah, I would say that that definitely had some influence on probably, like, you know, Nancy Thompson from A Nightmare on Elm Street. She set up all the booby traps and stuff for Freddy and was totally badass. But yeah, there's not. No, I'm sure if I thought harder about it, I'd be able to think of similar final girls. But I do think Alien might be the franchise that has the strongest. Besides, you know, Sarah Connor, they're kind of up there with each other. But I don't know. Yeah, Ripley is a heavy hitter when it comes to final girls.
Can we all agree that Kelly was the final girl in that?
Well,
Predator versus Requiem.
Yeah, I would say
I'm going to keep track of them when I go along here. So,
see
if everybody agrees with the final girls that I thought were final girls.
Okay, sure, fair enough. We got some number 8s. We have Alien 3, Hate the dog scene. Oh, my ambiance is changing. Alien 3, okay, Alien 3, all the reasons you mentioned, no notes. At least it's cool seeing Ripley. It's definitely the one I'd revisit the least. Ripley's the strongest of any movie. Sarah Connor is fierce, but acts emotionally. Ripley calmly assesses the situation and then just does exactly what needs to be done. That's very true.
I agree
Ripley,
with that.
the only time that Ripley has a breakdown, I think, is in Alien 3 because she knows that there's one inside of her and that she's dying. So I think that that's the only time she has a
Yeah,
breakdown.
she does sob in another movie.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I'll see if it come across at my notes, but there was a scene where she actually sobbed, and it wasn't that one. But anyway, so my number 8 is Alien 3 as well.
Okay, so we just flip-flopped our last place. I thought that we might have them in the same place because we watched Alien 3 together. We rewatched it together, and I forget what you said right afterwards, but you just were like, man, that was awful, or that was horrible, or something. You're like, that was a slog. So number 9, Alien 3 as well. Can never forgive it for killing off the characters from Aliens, right? I kind of forget what the dog scene was. Oh, in Alien 3, there is very much a The Thing moment with a dog.
It takes out a dog.
Yeah.
It does. It takes out the dog. And it is kind of classic, and somebody mentioned it in the chat, but, this was a David Fincher movie, and I thought it sucked.
and I've been told that there was some crazy studio involvement, that the making of the movie is a lot more interesting than the movie itself because of how things changed and got butchered. And so I don't know if maybe the movie is really far from David Fincher's original vision, because I don't know if this is just a rumor or if this is an actual quote of his, but he disavowed the movie. He's disowned it since the fact. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. I am eager to watch the making of documentary and stuff. The script and the direction were problematic. My 8 is Alien Covenant. The script is very problematic because I think when we were watching it, Dad, at some point I realized that the guy that she slept with was killed off, and I was like, wait, where did that guy go?
Right.
And I think he died off screen.
I can't remember either. I said in my notes that he died, but I mean, even that, the relationship with the doctor and her was weird. Them sleeping together was weird. It didn't really, the vibe of it, I thought was weird. I thought that the special effects, or what am I trying to say? Computer generated stuff. There was a lot of really goofy,
it was really bad
things. But I did make a note that in this particular movie, Ripley was what I would say the final girl, because she sacrifices herself, but then it ends up she didn't end up being the final girl, because she shows up again in a different movie.
Yeah, but Dad, you have to understand, like, the definition of a final girl is that she survives. So she was not the final girl of Alien 3. She died.
I was doing a play on words. That's why I call it the final girl. So I get it. But anyway, so she sacrifices herself, and so does the minister convict. He sacrifices himself too, and I just didn't really like that movie very much. I think I was seeing, what did I give that movie? I gave it a 2.5 too. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's
you ranked it higher than I did. I think also something that was weird to me is something that I'm not sure I understand correctly with how to read the film, because they introduce her in this prison and they tell her that she's surrounded by sexual abusers and murderers and all of this. And then in the end, the framing of it to me feels like they're supposed to be redeemed, which really confuses me. They're making the ultimate sacrifice. They're these grand kind of cinematic moments, and they're framed in such a way that, it suggests to me that they're ultimately the heroes of the movie, which is weird. I don't really know if that's how I'm supposed to be reading it. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I kind of agree with you. I
Yeah.
kind of agree with you on that. They had the other thing was, I mean, just to make it interesting, they had to shave Ripley's head.
Hmm.
I I mean, okay, it's something different, but just the fact that I thought they were just really searching in this movie to try to keep it interesting as an alien movie. That's was my feeling.
Well, some parts of it also just felt rinse and repeat from the original movie, but everything, just literally everything, just done worse, in my opinion. So, I don't know. Some people have a sweet spot for it. I thought maybe I would enjoy it more the second time seeing it, having, set more realistic expectations, but I really didn't. I might have even enjoyed it less. But Ryan brings up an interesting point about Requiem, though. Having the xenomorphs in suburbia is a total plot hole in the whole picture of the franchise because the later movies are all about discovering the xenomorph, but now it's a plot hole. But is it though? Because they nuked the whole town. So like, who survived to tell the tale? I don't know. Is that a
Well,
plot hole?
Dallas, Ricky, Kelly, and Molly, they survived.
Right, but they're gonna be on the run from the government. I mean, I feel like if they or no,
No, the government. We
they
think
took
that
them
they're going to
in.
get killed, but the government soldiers uh, were cool to them, which I thought they were going to kill them all. Which would
I no, seriously, I thought that when they gave them the blankets or whatever and they're all kind of sitting there, I was thinking, okay, now that they're all sitting in a circle there, they're about to just turn their guns on them and just
me
like
too.
wipe them out. But they didn't. So I don't know, maybe they got a fat check from the government, maybe they signed an NDA. I think there's workarounds there. But let's see, I'm really behind on the chat yet again. Thank you so much, Ingrid. How did you get that amazing green lighting? I'm trying to make my apartment more swagged out and moody. Well, the LED lights are super cheap. You can get those on Amazon. And then I don't want to move my camera, but I've got a light over here. I shouldn't mess with that, but yeah, I just use my video recording lights for the green lighting, but thank you. Nobody hates Alien 3 more than David Fincher himself,
I bet.
apparently.
Well, I bet.
Yeah. I just because he doesn't strike me as the kind of director to do that over the top CGI. Like, I don't know. His movies are so moody and like Zodiac, there's just so much attention to all the character. I mean, the movie's like 3 hours long, so it just and then Alien 3 just seems like a total rush job. But I think it was his feature debut or something. So
I was wondering about that actually. I was going to look that up and I forgot to.
I'm pretty sure it is. I looked that up too because I couldn't believe it. I didn't realize it was directed by him until like a month ago, and was super surprised. Okay, at number 8 we've got the original Alien vs Predator. Okay, number 7 we got Prometheus. Oh, people are starting to share their number 7s. Alien Covenant at number 7. Script of Alien 3 is kind of a Frankenstein of two different scripts, one with a planet of monks and another with a prison planet with Hicks and Bishop surviving. Oh, there's more to it though. Yeah, we'll just have to watch the documentary, I suppose.
I do want to
Oh,
quote one part of that movie of Alien 3
uh-huh.
is when Ripley goes out and finds the spacecraft that they crashed on and gets Bishop restarted.
Hmm.
And he restarts and he looks at her and he says, "Hello, Ripley. My legs hurt.
Yeah.
I like your new haircut." And then she says, "Was the fire electrical?" He says, "Yes, it was electrical." And then she
Hmm.
says, "Was there an alien on board?" And he says, "Yes, it was with us all the way." She says, "Does the company know?" And he says, "The company knows everything. I heard
Dun
it.
dun
Please
dun.
disconnect me." Yeah.
Yeah, and the animatronic of him in Alien 3 looked so good. That was the best effect of the entire movie. And it really bums me out that we didn't get something that looked that good in Alien Romulus. That became even more baffling to me. But anyway, Can only complain about that so many times. I wanted to say thank you to Austin. What's up, Father Hippie and Kylie? Hopefully, I can go see Alien Romulus the next couple days. You haven't seen it yet? Oh my gosh. I hope you do. Hope you get out there soon. Let's just say Alien 3 was a mess. It was, yes. Number 7, we got Alien vs. Predator. Oh, the video game? Oh, we can't talk about video games, but I have heard that one of I forget what it's called. But oh dad, I wish that we could play it. But I don't game either, but I forget what it's called, but there's an alien game where the game's algorithms are so smart that while you play, there is an alien that stalks you and like learns about your gameplay and stuff.
Oh, wow,
And it's
really fun.
It sounds so scary to me. I forget what it's called, but it sounds really good. Anyway, why don't we move on to our number 7s because people are starting to put their number 7s in chat. Do you want to go first?
Okay.
All right.
Alien versus Predator, the original one,
Mm-hmm.
that did $177 million, which
Did
was
pretty well.
which was the most at that point of dollars. And I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought. Yeah, you and I watched this together before you left, and the more I thought about it, I thought, you know what, that movie is pretty fun. I gave it a 3.
I did too. But that's not my number 7. Do you have anything else you want to add about your number 7 before I share mine?
This is the one. This is the one where Wayland puts together the crew when they go to the Arctic and they go down and then they find a temple pyramid that's been done by 3 different civilizations. And there's one hell of a set piece or whatever you want to call it when they're down there and they're running around and they're trying not to get killed, but they're also having the rocks go down, the doors shutting, they're getting stuck in this maze, and the predators involved. I'm not sure whether I think it's stupid that the predator made friends with Lex,
with their final girl, yeah,
who I called the final girl. I kind of like that they made friends, but in another way, I thought it was kind of stupid. But I definitely enjoyed it more than the other AVP.
It's like very stupid, but that doesn't mean it's not great. You know what I mean? I mean, I liked it. I think it's totally dumb. Yeah, but I will talk about that movie soon. I'm wondering if we just kind of flipped a couple things on our ranking, but I don't know. We'll see.
I have a feeling they're all pretty close at the bottom anyway.
At the bottom, yes, but maybe except for one, because there's one movie. You guys are gonna be so mad at me for how I rate things, but probably not for my number 7. My number 7 is Alien Covenant. It is the sequel to Prometheus, which in a lot of ways, I don't think literally, because this is the main huge complaint about the movie, is that it undoes a lot of the stuff from Prometheus that is set up, and how it just doesn't really feel like a worthy sequel to Prometheus. Spoilers, I loved Prometheus and was so excited to see how that story would continue, and Covenant just was such a letdown. They introduced super interesting ideas of having David, this, I don't know whether to call him a droid or a robot, because sometimes they do call them droids, but to have this droid with a god complex that has all this access to a crazy biological weapon that he's doing all this testing on and stuff. I think that's a super interesting idea, but that's not where we were coming from with Prometheus. So yeah, Covenant was just really tough for me. It was a huge letdown. I mean, Ridley Scott can shoot the hell out of a movie. Michael Fassbender is one of the best actors in the entire franchise, as put on display in both Prometheus and Covenant. But yeah, I just was really let down. I still give it 3 stars. I still liked it for what it was, but I think out of the entire franchise too, the aliens themselves felt the most shoehorned into it. It didn't feel like Prometheus, where that was building on the insane lore that Ridley Scott had in the back of his mind, apparently. It felt the most kind of, they felt the most kind of out of place to me. But you know, because it was such a well-made film, so gorgeous. I mean, there's some really good scenes in it anyway. But yeah, that's why it was so low in my ranking. It just was a bit of a disappointment.
Well,
Um,
that surprises me.
oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's your
a
number
lot of
7. That's you said it's number 7.
it's my number
Okay,
7. There's a lot
got
about
it.
my ranking that's gonna surprise you guys. Don't worry. Don't worry. Number 7, Rock Fan has Alien Resurrection. Midnight movie level bad. Some of Sigourney Weaver's lines make me feel so much secondhand embarrassment. True. It's the Joss Whedon effect, I think, because he was the writer. In the same way as Michael Scott in The Office. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good comparison, actually. Oh, hey, from Argentina. Welcome. The pred alien baby was cute, but it's also creepy that any other alien organism that encounters a xenomorph is going to end up birthing one. Yeah, yeah. The aliens are more freaky to me than the predators, for sure. Even though the predators got an ugly face. Oh yeah, everyone's letting me know the game is called Alien Isolation. Thanks, everybody. It's so good. It's so terrifying. I want to play it. I really do. Oh, you have Covenant at number 7 too? Okay. Oh, another person put Covenant at number 7. I am not alone.
Wow.
Me, well, not so much. Please expand on your thoughts. Let me know why you agree with me. I'm curious. Another one for Resurrection at 7. It's so bad it's good kind of movie, but also too weird for my liking. Need to revisit it for sure. It's always been regarded as a Black Sheep sequel for sure. For sure. At number 7, we got Alien 3. Let's see. Oh, Android. Yeah, Android, not droid. I guess that's a little bit too Star Wars for the term, but oh, thank you, Desi. What you're saying is I need to rewatch Prometheus. I think so.
I
I think
think
so,
so.
but we'll
As
talk
you
about that a little later. Yeah, are we all clear on our number 7s? Because you mentioned Alien vs. Predator. Did you have anything else that you wanted to touch
no,
on?
not
Because
not really. I covered it all. A lot of
okay,
fighting and the big maze underneath the earth, and she becomes
yeah.
friends with the predator, and then he gives her a weapon before they come down and take his guy and leave her behind.
Okay, good. Because my number 6 is Alien vs. Predator. So I was kind of holding off because I was going to talk about it really soon. Alien vs. Predator, exactly like Alien Covenant. I give it 3 stars. It's it's pretty bad. It's very 2004. I think it's really funny that movie came out the same year as National Treasure, which I just rewatched. But it's the same kind of you know archaeology vibes, and you're in this whatever a temple or pyramid, or then things are shifting
Yeah.
because of the items that were found and removed, and I don't know, I really was getting a National Treasure vibe, and it was the
Well,
same year.
that Indiana Jones.
Yeah, that too.
And
I
what
love.
we talked about the John Carpenter movie. I'm sorry, The Thing, was that the one?
Yeah,
Yeah, you and I were
that,
watching that movie, and we kind of thought it had that vibe when they first arrived. Anyway, I know in Antarctica.
oh yeah, it's
Remember?
very
Yeah,
very much the same vibe as The Thing.
yeah.
And oh, I also love the fact that Lance Henriksen is there, and this time he gets to play a human. He plays Wayland himself, the head of the company. I enjoyed the themes of discovery at any cost. I feel like we don't get a good. That's also really similar to National Treasure. It's just discovery and uncovering history at any cost, just putting your life on the line just for the sheer connecting to history. And I keep saying discovery over and over, but you know what I'm talking about. Just it's similar to Indiana Jones. This should be in a museum, type
Yeah.
thing. Just the sheer dedication to. I'm saying discovery too many times. Let me whatever. I'll just stop talking about it. But it definitely had that vibe to it. The way that her father passed away because he was so determined to get to the top of the mountain, and Wayland
Yeah.
is super sick, but he's still gonna discover this pyramid if it kills him, which is definitely going to, and it definitely did. I love that. I enjoy when characters are that delusional about science or whatever it is that they're after. I respect it because it makes for very entertaining and usually terrible decisions, honestly, that characters make. So I love when a character has that quality to him. But it is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous film. A lot of people compare all of the Predator lore to Ancient Aliens, and when you're watching the History Channel at like 3 a.m. and some weird stuff comes on, which definitely. But I'll also all of that is so dumb that I love it. It's all good. It's all gravy with me. I did really enjoy it, and you can actually see all the action. You can see everything, and there's a good amount of practical effects as well. So, do you have any response? Shall I catch up with the chat?
Well, that was your 6, right?
That was my number 6. Yeah.
Mine's Alien Resurrection. I gave it 3.5.
I knew it. I knew that was
kind of got a kick. I kind of got a kick out of the way that Sigourney Weaver played the
clone.
I got a kick out of her. I think she was having fun doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely. I think so. I'm not gonna talk about that one yet before I get through everyone's number 6s. But we've got. Oh, hey, welcome, Ryan. Let's see. Okay, number 6. Oh, also Alien vs. Predator. Could have been great if the script was given a couple more rewrites. I agree. Because clearly, I mean, a ton of budget went into it. They were, that wasn't just thrown together.
$60 million budget's what I have.
Yeah, I think that there was some care, but yeah, needed to take another couple passes at it. Let's see. Paul's ranking the games. I'm sorry, I just don't know anything about those. Number 6, we got Resurrection. So you guys are twinning. Number 6, Alien 3. Okay. Yeah, Covenant. That's okay. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. I didn't want to say it, but yeah, Covenant felt a little half-assed, not committing to what they had set up in Prometheus. That was exactly how I felt. Alien 3 was controversial because the producers were assholes to David Fincher. That's kind of what I understood to have happened without really looking into it yet. But yeah, I need to look into it more. Number 6, Ryan has Alien Covenant. I really enjoyed Michael Fassbender's performance, especially when he's doing a parent trap and playing twins. Yeah. That's true. That is a real I can't believe that's a real line in that movie. I'll do the fingering. There's some weirdly suggestive dialogue in that movie that was just it really, really caught me off guard. They also got Alien Resurrection at number 6. Okay. Oh, hey, Wellmeister. Sorry I'm late. Just got to the hospital. Saw you were live. Wanted to stay and talk more after I post my quick ranking. I'm going back to resting. Father Hippie, great to see you, man.
Hello, Willmeister.
Yeah, I hope you start feeling better. Rest is important. Oh, Anthony, hey. Welcome. Welcome. Been a little minute here. Alien vs. Predator sounds similar to Prometheus, just a little bit. It's a little similar. I think they both involve Wayland. They both bring in the character of Wayland and his obsession with the, I don't know, I guess the origins of the alien and just discovery, I suppose. But they're not connected, so I don't know. They're a little similar. I guess.
Wayland? This one?
Yes. Not
nobody saw the shirt.
In case, yeah, oh yeah, you shut off the shirt at the very beginning,
and others joined. If Willmeister just joined, and a few of these other people, Anthony, this is the shirt that Kylie gave me for my birthday last weekend, and so I'm pridefully wearing it. But the camera thing doesn't work very well to show the shirt or cut off the top of my head. So.
Yeah, I know. Otherwise, his laptop has to be across the table, and then he can't see. So
then I can't see.
It is what it is. But most of the time, we can read the words. So the effect is coming across. It's all right. But yeah. So number 6. Okay, right. Resurrection. Did you have anything else you wanted to share about why that is like middle tier for you?
I didn't think they did a very good job of the group that shows up. just a group of vagabonds that brought humans. They don't know why they're bringing them, and went on a rider and all of that.
She's the girl.
Yeah, she's the girl, but on that particular movie, I did not come up with the final girl. Is there a final girl in Alien Resurrection?
I mean, it's kind of clone Ripley and then also the Winona android, I
Yeah,
guess, right? I
yeah.
forget who else survives, if anybody else. Does anybody else survive? I don't remember.
Uh, yeah, I don't remember either.
That's fine. That's fine.
Well, I know because the one guy's saying to her, "Hey, you saved Earth," and she has some line about, "I'm not sure that I'm even welcome there," or something like that. Ripley says after they
Oh.
save the Earth from that thing landing on the Earth. That was their whole thing.
Mhm.
Um, I'll just go back to what I said originally. I got a kick out of Ripley being a robot, an android, whatever they were called.
She was a clone. She was not.
A clone, right? I got a kick
Yeah.
out of her playing the clone. I liked a lot of her lines. I liked her
Mhm.
acting. I know some people will completely disagree, but
Well,
as opposed to the one on the prison planet,
yeah.
but she didn't seem like she was having any fun in that movie. I thought she was having fun doing this movie, and I was having fun with her.
Yeah. I think so too. I think that one's really fun. I will talk about it in a bit. But I also got another tip from Will Meister. I want to say thank you. Haven't seen Covenant Romulus or the short film connecting. Oh, Prometheus to Creation? What is that? That aside, my ranking is worst to best. 3, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator, Prometheus, Aliens, Alien. Okay, that's a pretty good, I feel like that's a very respectable ranking. That's pretty good. Um, Okay, we got. Oh, Ryan is sharing his number 5 already. All right, should we? Should we? Are we yapping
I'm
too
okay
much?
with my 6 being
Okay,
done. I gave it
yeah,
3.5. I don't remember if I told you that, but anyway,
no, we and I'll talk about Resurrection
I
in a
know.
minute. So Ryan has Prometheus at number 5. I remember first seeing this when it came out in theaters with my dad. I really loved it. He was kind of meh, but I haven't rewatched it since then. I still remember a lot, and it's great. Very nice. I love Alien Resurrection. It's one of my favorites. So stupid and fun. Plus Winona Ryder and Sigourney Weaver, and also Brad Dourif. But let me talk about him later. I just, anyways, I
Is that Chucky?
yeah, Brad Dourif.
Okay.
He's the guy that gets he's the guy that is the unfortunate soul that gets plastered to the wall. You know that happens in a lot of the movies. So that's him in Resurrection. And then he has this weird creepy dialogue where I can't remember if he's like quoting scripture or something, but he has these weird creepy lines about like birth and fate or something, and he's just
Yeah.
reciting it as he's all covered in goo and just gooped up to the
Sorry.
wall and stuff. He is so good in Resurrection. Anyways, let me talk about that later. Number 5, we got Prometheus again, a bit too meandering in my opinion. I love the visuals. Can always count on Ridley Scott for that. Let's see. Derek has Alien Resurrection at number 3, jumping ahead. Oh, thank you. Real quick before I leave, Kylie, you're into comics now. How goes your journey so far? Have you read the Alien Predator, Alien vs. Predator comics? Now, my journey has really just begun and end with reading Junji Ito, his Fragments of Horror book. But I'm thinking that next I will read my omnibus of Army of Darkness. So I have that. I think that'll be up next. All right, number 5 got Aliens. Just didn't feel the actiony route they went. I think that's
Oh, wow.
fair. Yeah, Brad, he's so good in it. He's so good. Okay, people are still sharing their number 5. Should we share ours?
Sure. Mine's Alien Romulus.
Okay. All right. Okay. So was there any type of reevaluation that happened on this viewing?
Well, I will say here as a reminder to myself and advice to other people, I have found while I've been doing this with Kylie that it helps me so much with new movies in an anthology or whatever you call it to watch the previous movies.
Mm-hmm.
Numerous times I've noticed it just has made a big difference. And I went to Alien Romulus not having seen an Alien movie recently. And as I said over on Patreon, I wasn't that hot on the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Going back and watching those movies, which I watched all of them except The Predators, and then going on Friday night for my second time,
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it a lot more. I will say again, it was difficult for me to understand what the characters were saying a lot throughout the movie, and I'm
Right.
not hard of hearing. And you said that there are some people that said that that was, an issue.
I
Um,
think that is probably the most common complaint behind the people that whine about fan service. I think that is the most common complaint because I felt the same way. Couldn't understand them sometimes.
but going back, I thought it was really well done. I thought it
Mm-hmm.
was a great science fiction movie. I thought it was a great horror movie, kind of too. I thought there were some great scenes in this movie, set pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and overall, I thought it was really good. Kaylee
Spain.
Spenny,
Yeah.
what's the name of her character? Ray? I could
Something
never,
like that.
yeah, I could never figure out her name. Anyway, so she's the final girl because I've been going
Yeah.
through these. She's the final girl in this, and I also thought Andy, who was an actor in another recent movie. Did you tell me that, or did I hear it on a
No, I think that
podcast?
this was kind of a big splash of
No,
his
but he
because I
did something recently. I heard on a
okay,
podcast.
whatever.
I thought he was great as an
Yeah.
actor playing that role. And I said a lot of good, scary stuff. There were lots of Easter eggs, etc., in the movie. I know some people complain about them, but when I went back and watched the first ones and then watched it again, it was more fun to pick some of them out.
Okay. So that's good. It's you got it dead in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. For me, my number 5 is Aliens. I actually agree with is it Mazzy? Maisie? I'm not sure. But yeah, I agree. I'm not as fond of the action vibes and what I see generally is that Aliens is the most beloved of the entire franchise, and so I just assumed I was really going to make people mad with placing it in the middle of the franchise. But yeah, I'll get into obviously the things that work best for me about this franchise, and Aliens just doesn't have a lot of it. It made it up to the middle tier because it has the queen and it's got some pretty gnarly stuff that goes down, just in terms of practical effects and the whole egg room and all of that. I really love that freaky stuff. But yeah, the kind of the militant vibe of it, I'm not super keen. There are some really good scenes, like the big I don't even know what to call it, but when she gets into the robot and it's an extension of her. I
Yeah,
don't know what to
right.
call that thing. The giant robot thing, whatever. James Cameron did the exact same thing in Avatar,
Yes, he
actually. And
did.
I was like, oh, I feel this is very much the precursor to his Avatar movie, the first one. And yeah, the I don't love a military movie. I never have. I still give Aliens 4 stars, but yeah, I prefer a monster movie. I prefer an all-out creature feature. I don't love the kind of procedural feelings of it. And also, no one is going to want to hear me say this. I am not moved by Ripley's relationship with Newt. I just something about the little girl thing, it's not there for me. I don't know why that is because, for example, I love Indiana Jones and what did he call him? Short Stack? What's his name?
Yeah.
Something,
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. I love they end up with sort of a goofy like father son dynamic. I love in Jurassic Park you have Sam Neill with the kids that at first, oh, he doesn't like kids, their kids are crazy or whatever, and then by the end they're asleep on him in the helicopter, and it's like, oh, that dynamic definitely moves me most of the time. It just didn't really in Aliens. So I love the sequences. I love the direction. I think it's a great looking movie. I love the Queen. There's a lot to love about it. I love the movie. But it just doesn't have quite the vibe that I prefer of the Alien franchise, I suppose. So end of rant. So okay, so a bunch of people agree actually. Number 5, Alien Romulus. Nova says the same thing. And also that the dialogue was kind of forgettable. Which, so for the dialogue that you could hear, was it forgettable in Romulus?
What dialogue?
I guess. I mean, well, because a lot of people also complain that they steal the line from Aliens, you know, paying homage, but just using the line again where Andy says, "Get away from her, you bitch," you know?
Yeah.
So I guess that's fair. That's fair. Number 5, we got Prometheus, sick visuals, engineers are insane. Yeah, her name is Rain. Okay. See, I forgot. I told you I don't know the names of most of the characters in this franchise. Let's see. Yeah, Aliens at number 5. I know. I was looking for that reaction. I knew I'd get it from somebody. Paul has Aliens at number 4. Supposed to be my number 1, but finding out the actor Vasquez wasn't Latina, but a white woman. I know. I didn't know that until this last viewing too. And I think I told you that.
You did tell me.
At the top of the movie, and my dad's like, "Oh, you were like, I can't, like, I don't want to hear that." Like, you know, it makes it a little bit of a tougher watch for sure, because she's also putting the accent on a little bit, and it's like, just hire a Latina actress. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing, James Cameron? Let's see. I liked how Prometheus did an interesting job at setting up Alien with the engineers being the space jockeys. That was from the Oh, Short Round. I called him Short Stack. Yeah, his name was Short Round, Indiana Jones. Let's see. Oh, my response. Newt is so baby girl. I know, but I don't know. What did you think about their relationship, Dad?
I thought it was a cheap addition to the movie.
You agree with me? Really? Yeah. About the little girl?
Yeah, because I didn't really feel like Ripley. It seemed fake.
You didn't buy it.
I just didn't buy it after watching Alien originally in the movie theater, like I did back in the day, and then going to see Aliens in the theater like I did. Yeah, I don't know. I just like, okay, let's throw a little kid in here and then have Ripley be tied into her, because in the original she's tied into the cat. So
I do prefer the cat.
One. She's got the Newt. So I don't know. It was okay. I didn't really think that it was that realistic, I guess, for the character.
No, I agree completely, because Ripley is just so autonomous, and honestly, just I don't love that her character couldn't just be that badass. I don't like that she had to become a mother figure. You know, it ties in, it does, because the whole franchise pretty much ties in themes about motherhood and birth and abortion, and like it's all very relevant. I get that, but I never wanted that to be a facet of Ripley's character. Don't make her a mom. Like, don't do my girl like that. She is so just let her have the cat, you know.
I didn't like her. Like I said, I didn't like her having sex with the doctor on the prison planet.
Yeah, but that too.
Thought that was thrown in. It didn't fit into the movie, in my opinion. So both things are kind of similar to me. I'd rather you'd stick with Jonesy the cat.
Yeah, no, I forgot. I was going to say that Ripley very much gives me like an asexual vibe, or perhaps a lesbian. Yes. Like in no world is Ripley attracted to men in my brain. Way. Like there's just no way. So yeah, there's another reason why Alien 3 is dead last for me. There you go. Let's see. Yeah, Alien's at my number 5. I can understand. Okay, thanks for understanding. Remember the poster saying "This time is war," but still surprised. Oh, I've never noticed that actually. They mentioned that Ripley had a daughter who died and Newt lost her whole family, so them finding each other was sweet. I never needed Ripley to be a mom. Never needed her to be a mom. I just wish that we could have a franchise with a really badass final girl where she's not connected to motherhood or a man.
Right.
That's all I want. Like,
Right.
anyway, I guess
I
it's a bigger.
I gave my number 5 a 3.5, by the way, just because we
A 3.5. That was
So
oh,
I gave
Romulus.
Alien Resurrection and Romulus both 3.5.
Oh, okay. That's
I'm just saying because you're curious. Not that.
Yeah, I am. I definitely am. I was curious because the first time you watched Alien Romulus, what did you say? Like a 2.5 you would give it or
2.5.
something? Yeah. So that's okay. That's a good. That makes me happy. Kylie just took Newt out behind the shed and put her down. It's like nothing against the character of Newt.
Poor Newt.
It's just a dynamic that I didn't need, okay? All right. Okay, all right. Ryan has shared his number 4, Alien vs. Predator. I'm biased because I saw it when it came out when I was 10. That will leave a big impression for sure. Good fight scenes. And I unironically love the ancient aliens backstory. Sue me. No, I like it too. I like things because they're dumb a good amount of the time, you know? So no judgment here. My number 4, I suppose I'll go first this time.
Sure.
Okay. Nobody's gonna want to hear this. That's the thing. Nobody's
gonna say Alien. Oh man,
Father, you know me well.
You gotta be kidding me.
Here's the thing. Okay. All right. Quality wise, I would put it at number 2. Maybe at 1.5. Okay. Quality wise, in terms of rewatchability for Haunted Hippie, for Kylie Roseanne, it's a number 4. Okay. It's a movie that is, I feel like, tonally very different to the majority of the franchise that I have now fallen in love with. Yeah. It is, and I love this about it. Okay, don't get me wrong, but it's very slow. It's very atmospheric. There are only a handful of the really exciting scenes, which makes them all the more memorable. You know, it's why it's such an ultimate classic. But I just happen to enjoy a couple movies more because they have so much freaky shit. I love the freaky shit. And the original Alien, phenomenal. I love it. Okay. But it's much like Aliens, where it's just not what I consider to be. It doesn't have the elements that contain the height of my enjoyment in terms of what this franchise has to offer. Okay. But I give the original Alien 4.5 stars. I'm in love with it. All right. It's one of my all-time favorites. I would rank it. Oh, it's gotta be at least in my top 3 or top 5 horror movies of the 70s. Okay. So don't come for me. All right. There you go. That's my number 4.
Wow. You really set the internet on fire, or whatever you call it.
We'll see. We'll see what the people
say.
I like
Ryan's comment. His eyes are on fire like the robot in Mr. Krabs.
What? Okay. All right.
With that sacrilege said, I'm going to pick my number. I'm going to say what my number 4 is, and that is Alien Covenant. Covenant, which I gave a 4, and wow, I know it was a box office disappointment as I did some research this morning, but I really enjoyed that movie. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was beautiful. It was to me, it was a real big movie.
That's how Ripley does it. Or Ridley. I just realized was that a self-insert with Ripley in the original? I never put that together. That Ridley Scott, Ripley. Yeah, Ripley. I never, sorry. Got stuck on that for a sec. Anything else? Anything else about Covenant that we enjoy?
I just like the whole thing. I did get I was trying to figure out whether in Alien Covenant, I didn't think there was a final girl in there.
Alien Covenant? No, because David, I mean, he kills everyone, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or no, wait. Do they? No, wait. No, he puts what's her face back in the sleeping pod, and then does he kill her or just puts her to sleep? I can't remember.
He puts her to sleep.
Okay, but she's just screaming, saying no, no, no. But he just puts her to sleep. He doesn't kill her. I can't remember. But anyway,
I think he just put her to sleep. The other reason I like this was the Walter and David thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was really great. I thought that Michael Fassbender did a great job. At times, I wasn't sure who was who, and the final scene when who is that? Not Shaw, but
no, I'm the wrong person to ask, Dad.
Who's the woman that they're putting in at the end?
Anyway,
she's feeling kind of emotional towards who she thinks is Walter, and says, "Will you build?" Oh, I know, it's the
Daniels,
woman whose husband died early on. Yes.
Yeah, Daniels.
Daniels. She's feeling this kind of feeling before the hood is closed on her sleeping pod, and you're going, wow, she's actually feeling something towards Walter, and her husband's dead, because she says, will you help me build the cabin? And I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of nice. And then he shuts it, and then she suddenly realizes that it's David, not Walter. Walter puts her to sleep and flies off, and he's got everything, and he tells Wayland Yutani that they're back on their way, and there were a few of the crew were killed in a blast, and they're continuing to Origai number 6, which they're supposed to colonize. But oh my God, when this ship shows up, I wonder what happens, because he's in charge, and he's got all the embryos and all the humans and everything.
I know, it really, really bums me out. I think that also put a sour taste in my mouth watching that movie, and then knowing that story is never going to be concluded, because Ridley Scott is now like 81 years old, and they're taking the franchise in Fede Alvarez's direction, most likely, and it's just such a bummer. It's just such a letdown to not have that story be concluded. But, for how it diverted everything from Prometheus, I guess I'm not incredibly disappointed, but I don't know. It is still a bummer to me. Also, yeah, Alien Covenant, I guess I didn't mention the whole Walter David of it all. I guess some people that are they're critical of the fact that, oh, it's the most predictable plot twist, whatever. I think it's more a case of dramatic irony, that I think that if you don't pick up on it, it's fine, whatever. But I knew pretty much immediately that was definitely David and not Walter. Like, I knew that there was no way that, that things were just over, that things were about to be wrapped up, that Walter made it out of that fight. There was a reason why they didn't show us the end of that fight. Like, I think it's dramatic irony. That's a complaint that I don't really understand. Like, oh, it's so predictable, whatever. I think you're supposed to know. I think it's supposed to make you stress out for the other characters. But anyway, yeah, good points on Alien Covenant. Rockfan has it at number 4 as well. Gorgeous looking and thought provoking. I think it falters with its cynical ending. Oh, do you how do you feel about the ending? Positively or negatively?
It really bothered me. I mean, the movie ended, and I just go, oh my gosh, this guy is gonna go ruin this planet they're planning on colonizing. And I think he's gonna put the aliens in all of these colonists and all of the embryos that they're taking with them. And he's gonna ruin the planet. So I figure his godlike thing that he's already showed us, he's going to get his own planet, man. He's going to be king of his own planet and do things his way and use the perfect aliens.
Yeah, I love the dialogue between him and Walter, where I can't really remember it now. So I'm not going to have any super profound thoughts on this, but I love when they were talking to each other about their creators and, what they as androids and what humans deserve I think they talked about just in terms of, I don't know, respecting your creator or how they're viewed by their creators, and I guess kind of how David feels about the hierarchy of himself versus the humans.
Right.
Like
That
I
was
found all of
interesting.
that really interesting. I think it did carry on the themes of Prometheus really well in terms of creation. I think it was still really interesting in that regard, but just in terms of like the lore setup and all of that, that was where I felt like it faltered for me. But super behind on the chat again. Sorry. The first Alien is easily the scariest for me. I think I would agree with that. I think so, because the movies I have listed above it are more exciting, I think, but just the pure dread from the original Alien, I don't think can really be topped. Ryan says I have balls, but I totally hear what you're saying. 70s classics are all slow burns for you kids. That's not true. I mean, I love a slow burn. My other tops of the franchise, like Black Christmas, is very slow, and I give that movie 5 stars. Other favorite from the 70s is The Wicker Man. Halloween isn't a speed racer, I wouldn't say. I just rewatched that last night. I give that one 5 stars. Number 4, we got Prometheus. Agree with me. Somebody else agrees with me on Alien. Okay. It's a great film. A remake would be oh no, that's where we disagree, Ben. We don't need a remake. Like the franchise has gone in so many interesting different directions. I don't need a remake. Let's see. Alien is your number 4. I watched it at home with one of my daughters, and she said she was bored.
Oh my gosh.
That's horrifying. Oh no. Okay. Oh, it's not a self-insert. Whatever you say. Number 4 is also Prometheus. Okay. Because the movie felt empty. Thank you. No. I'm not saying that Alien is empty. That's not what I'm saying at all. Don't say that. That's not what I'm saying. Let's see. We got a number 3, Alien vs Predator at number 3. Been a fan of this flick since a chicken nugget. Love the interactions between Sana, Lathan, and Scar. I don't remember who those people are. I don't. Is that the name of the Predator itself? And then the whatever.
I don't know that either, and I'm not sure.
Alas, we should share our number 3s too. Probably you can go first this time.
Okay, my number 3 is Prometheus, which I gave a 4.5.
Oh, wow!
As you well know, I thought this was a beautiful film. Another one where I just thought those 2 movies that Ridley Scott did, Prometheus and Covenant, were just big, grandiose, beautiful movies. And I enjoyed this one so much. I remember seeing it at the theater when you and I rewatched it together recently. I think there's a reason that it was the biggest hit out of all this series, relatively speaking. You know, in 2017, doing $402 million on a $125 million budget.
Wait, no. Prometheus was. I thought Prometheus was 2012.
It was 2012.
I think,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah, it was 2012.
It was
but
2012. But anyway, and I was reading something about today that his whole idea about doing these 2 movies was to focus on the creators of the aliens instead of the aliens themselves. So that was his goal. I thought the whole thing was super interesting. I like that kind of, wow, let's find out where we came from kind of thing. Mixing up a little Indiana Jones at the beginning, and then going that far out into space and all the things that happen while they're there. My note was Shaw a final girl? She did survive, but we also know what happened to her when we watch the next movie. So was she really a final girl?
She was a final girl of Prometheus, and we leave it at that. Okay. I wanted to look for a review that I really, really liked. It's kind of long. I suppose maybe I should save it until maybe I'll save it until I talk about Prometheus. That's what I'll do. I'll save it for then, because I have a lot to say about Prometheus, and I'm glad that you enjoyed it so much.
I
When we
did.
watched it together, yeah, we both just were very, very stunned. We were
Yeah.
very stunned. That's all I'll say for now. My number three. Oh, everybody's gonna hate that I put this above the original Alien. Alien Resurrection is
Oh,
so misunderstood. It's
wow.
so misunderstood. And oh, don't piss me off. The fact that it has Sigourney Weaver, Winona Ryder, and Brad Dourif. Are you kidding me? Brad Dourif delivering his weird little like birth, fate, whatever, his little monologue while he's covered in goo. Top 10 moments of this franchise. Okay. The fact that Winona Ryder, the plot twist that she is some like early days android that they had to recall because they were too close to humans. And I do think that her character was the inspiration for David because, David, I think. To my understanding, I think canonically is the same type of android as Winona's character. Just the super freaky, hyper realistic, humanoid versions or whatever. Yeah, no, and oh god, I feel like Resurrection gave the franchise some of its best concepts that we do see recycled in other later movies, like the freaky alien hybrid human question mark baby thing. The fact that the
Oh,
queen,
yeah.
what was it he said the queen is giving birth to your baby, Ripley, or something like
Yeah,
that
that
she
was
was this
weird.
big goopy thing's mom. The scene where they're in the water, they come up from the pool and there's all these face huggers around, like Resurrection, I think, is probably the gooeyest out of the entire franchise. It has some of the best gore and the best deaths, and just I was stressed. I was having fun. Sigourney Weaver seemed like she was having a great time. The human alien giant baby gets sucked out of a quarter-sized hole
Oh,
in the window.
that was great. That was
Are
great.
you kidding me? Alien Resurrection is so misunderstood. I
Uh,
I ride so hard for that movie. I give it 4.5 stars. I love it so much. It is, I think I want to say it is the epitome of the freak shit in this franchise, and that's why I love it so much. I just don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the dialogue that is so incredibly off-putting for people or something, because there is some really bad dialogue. Um, I don't know. Is it too different than everything that preceded it? Is it just too much, too goopy, too over the top, and people just were not ready for that? Was it ahead of its time? I don't know. I'm gonna run out of breath if I keep going on and on about it. But I really, really love Alien Resurrection. It's my number three. It's in my top three. Um, uh,
the scene of it, maybe my favorite kill in the whole 9 movies is the one that
mhm.
you're referring to, where little bit by little bit, the alien gets Cuisinarted like a blender out of the ship. And I just
Yeah,
loved that.
it's good. It's very climactic. It's very
Yeah.
disgusting. It's funny. It's serious because it's the you know. Let me. Okay, all right. It's time to see how people are reacting to my very unpopular opinion here. Okay. All right. So, here's some insider information. I think when Disney bought Fox, that was the end of any sense of continuity with the Prometheus Alien movies post Alien vs Predator. Definitely feel like there could be more, but Romulus feels like a reboot retcon. It's not a. I don't feel like it's a retcon. Um, I just think it's just a fresh reboot. And also, I'm sorry, I will continue to catch up with the chat, but Dad, I'm actually really curious now that you finished talking about Prometheus and Covenant. Which sci-fi aesthetic do you prefer? Do you prefer the look of the original Alien and the very analog, kind of simple vibe, or do you like the super high tech, Prometheus uh, projections and that kind of stuff?
I I just thought that they were, when I take Alien and Aliens and I put them over
Mhm.
here as the OGs of their time, they're just a different animal, so to speak,
Okay,
than
but
Prometheus and um,
Covenant.
Covenant. I mean, I went back and watched Alien um, yesterday during the day, and I had
Mhm.
not seen it in a long time. And this is one of my top 10 movies that I saw as a younger person. I was
Mhm.
19 years old or 20 when Alien came out. And so, it's hard to compare it because to me it's in this little pocket with Star Wars and with Jaws
Mhm.
that came out between 75 and 79 that were movies that were mind blowing for me as a young person. And I think so cutting edge and simpler,
Okay.
simpler kind of movies in many ways compared to all of the things that can happen in a movie today. So it's kind of hard for me to compare the two. For pure entertainment, I liked Prometheus and Come.
I'm just
Today, the big movie. What
Okay,
else?
I'm just asking really just more so on an aesthetic level what you prefer, like which sci-fi look you prefer.
Mhm.
Just the very simple analog or the super high concept like projections and stuff when they're on the table and all the imagery's popping up or when
Oh,
she gets into the surgery thing and it's like
oh,
super
right.
high tech.
Wow. That,
So but what I'm hearing though is that the nostalgia of the aesthetics of the original Alien movies and of Star Wars and stuff makes it kind of impossible to compare. That's kind of what
yeah,
I'm
that's
hearing.
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I appreciate all the modern stuff, but when I think of what they did in 1979 with that movie,
Mhm.
and I'll talk about a little bit more when we're further along. I do agree with some of the things you said about Alien,
Mhm.
and I can understand what you're saying. I don't really disagree with anything you said, but to me, I don't know. It's like apples to oranges.
Yeah, that's
How
fine.
do you compare the original Jaws to something in this new millennium?
The
I
Meg.
just,
The Meg.
yeah, right. So it's just hard to me. They're really two different things, and I have a great appreciation for what they could do. Great filmmakers in the
Yeah, sure.
70s.
And it's also so interesting that just I really am just trying to ask on an aesthetic level, not
Yeah.
necessarily comparing the actual movies themselves, because um, obviously those two ended up higher on your ranking than Prometheus and Covenant. But it's also really interesting to me that Ridley Scott created well, not he didn't create the super high tech, sci-fi
Right.
looks of Prometheus and whatever, but that he directed both of them, and they just are they look so different. But anyway, let's see what the people were saying about my number three choice, maybe. Well, Leanne says Alien is her favorite of the franchise, easily my top 10 favorite horror movies of all time. I get that. At number three, we got Aliens. Didn't vibe with the Newt story. Not alone. We're not alone. Can't believe they replaced Jonesy the cat with a kid. I know. Whilst the movie is fun and iconic, it's way too militaristic for me. Number three, we got Alien Romulus. Andy's easily my favorite new character of the franchise. Me too. Me too. Hey, Frederick. Number three, Alien Covenant. Let's see. Oh, number two, we have Alien, and number one, Aliens. Number three is also Alien Resurrection. Ah, ah.
Wow.
I'm not alone. I thought I was gonna be on an island, Dad. I thought
Yeah.
it was
No
gonna be
kidding.
because I knew that you were gonna judge me a little bit. I
Yeah.
knew.
Well.
Um, number three, Alien Covenant. Number three, Alien Romulus. Could be recency bias. I did enjoy this movie despite it being a side quest. Great job capturing the vibes of the OG and the monster. Alvarez is the greatest of all time. Let's see. Prometheus over explains things, like the weird monster designs in Prometheus for sure. Number three, the original. I like the art background, but at the end of the day, I don't get people putting this one at their highest rank. Feeling empty. That's like I I I I can't understand that as a complaint because that's supposed to contribute to the feelings of isolation. It's supposed to feel very empty. I mean, these people are just they're just out there dealing with this. They're very much alone, you know, it's supposed to create that kind of empty feeling. But Leanne, yes. Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection suck. I'm like, excuse me, won't take that resurrection slander. Right. Yeah, Brad Dourif, he's like, yeah, that's what he says. You're a beautiful butterfly. That's what he says. And I think Halloween Resurrection is also underrated. I don't know what you've been smoking, but I want some. Come get some. I am having a blast. Everyone's like, these movies suck, so lame, whatever. And I'm like, well, sucks to suck because I'm having a blast over here. So whatever. Oh, John puts the original Alien at number 3. The honor and pleasure of seeing it in a large single screen theater on the first day it came out. The trailer didn't show the alien. You had to see it in the theater.
Yeah, I remember that, John.
Oh my gosh. You saw this one in theaters. This was back in the like Jaws era time and right, Star Wars. Never hated it like a lot of people. Baby alien monster and the body horror are quite interesting. I think so too. The swimming aliens, they swim. Not a great film at all to me. I just disagree. I just have so much fun. I love that they just took such a huge swing with it, you know? We got, Cody Leach was here. I don't know if he's still here, but right. He came here just in time. It's in my top 4. We can die on that hill together. Yes. The real freaks are here with me. Oh my God. Okay. That happens in Jason X too. Dad, you haven't seen the whole Friday franchise yet though, but someday. Okay, I'm super behind. I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. Let's see. Oh, it's weird how the alien hybrid baby is so creepy, but also the movie tries to make you feel bad when it dies. It's complicated, you know? I feel like because Ripley it's hard for her. That's her, that's her baby. She didn't birth it, but it's still, this franchise is great. Even Resurrection is bringing up really important conversations about, abortion and, surrogacy, even with the queen birthing her child for her, brings up tough conversations. Resurrection is great. It's great, guys. Resurrection is like an old sci-fi B movie that was fun, dumb, just plain crazy to sit back and that's what I'm saying. And the guys and the actors that were in it, like Winona Ryder is so good and Brad Dourif and I have to stop. I really have to calm down. Here's hashtag resurrection crew. Yes. Okay. Anyways, let me relax. I'm pretty sure I know you're number 2, but hit me with it, Dad.
Well, yeah, I've obviously gone old school. I gave Aliens 4.5. I did see that one in the theater as well. I think James Cameron knows how to do these kind of movies, and he was showing it back then in 1986. And I don't really have anything bad to say about the movie. I just really enjoyed the heck out of it. And I was wondering after watching Aliens with you, right, how I was going to feel about Alien when I went back and watched it the other day. But they're different movies for different reasons. So I didn't choose Aliens over Alien. They're just different.
They're very different tonally, I think.
They really are.
Completely. So yeah, that's fair. I think it's fair to kind of have those be interchangeable for most fans, how they see the franchise. I put those at 4 and 5 respectively, they're just different. My number 2 is actually Alien Romulus, and Ryan makes a really good point with recency bias because despite I do think unfortunately it's a movie that when I go back and rewatch it, I might have a few more nitpicks, a few more little disappointments about it because I have now since gone back and, rewatched the rest of the franchise or I've watched other movies for the first time. And when I first watched Alien Romulus, I didn't have a full understanding of what the franchise had to offer, obviously. but I even gave it a perfect rating despite the horrific CGI usage and the character of Rook, kind of reanimating Ash. I don't have much of a problem with that really, because the actor's wife actually signed off on that. I would hope that my spouse would know me well enough to know whether or not that was something that I would be okay with, So I don't have any kind of like moral, ethical issues with that, the way that some people are trying to kind of, pull out of the air. That's my top two are just so different. They're just so different because the Alien Romulus is an example of going back to the roots and having the very analog aesthetic of the sci-fi and taking it back to that, but then also having the really freaky stuff like Alien Resurrection. I feel like Alien Romulus is a really good blend of the original Alien movie and Alien Resurrection, which are two of my absolute favorites. I mean, which I have, Alien Resurrection's at number 3 and then Aliens at number 4. I feel like Alien Romulus combined both of those really, really well. I love the freaky baby. I love the use of the face huggers. Andy is a big reason why it made it at number 2. I think between him, oh gosh, okay. Well, so you put Romulus at number 5, so maybe this is easier for you to answer. But for me, it's really hard to say. Even just like performance-wise, do you prefer David or Andy, the androids? Like, how do you stack them up? You prefer, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that?
I guess because I kept rooting for him. And then the fact that he changes partway through the movie because of the upgrade that he gets, and then the way that it comes back around. After recently rewatching Covenant, right, where Walter, is that the right one? Walter is dead.
Yeah, Walter
David's the one that takes off, and he's a jerk.
Yeah.
I kind of like the Andy character. He was one of the more interesting parts of that movie to me, because I, as I said earlier, I still am not changing my mind about the cast so much. I feel like Romulus was definitely, more for a younger crowd than me, the baby boomer. I felt like it was a bunch of young kids doing what adults would have done in a previous movie, but not adults, but you know what I mean. It's just a different vibe in that movie. It's young people, and I just didn't relate to it as much. But when I did go back and see it again and watch the detail of the goriness and the kills and the monsters and all of that, I thought that was really well done.
Yeah, so you had fun. That's the most important thing.
I had fun in the second time.
Whoop. Hit my table. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. I was just hoping you would at least have fun when you went back to see it again. That's the most I can hope for. We got the original Alien at number 1 for King of the Dead. Without question, the tenseness in this film is the strongest out of the franchise. Ron Perlman, I forgot. Oh my gosh, I knew I was forgetting someone. Ron Perlman is also in Resurrection. I mean, his character is horrible, but he's there and he's acting his ass off. So yeah. Number 2 is also Aliens. You guys are twinning on that one. Same with Rockfan. I think the first Alien is more suspenseful. Aliens has the most quotable dialogue of the series. I see. I've only seen Aliens twice, so I'm not at the point where I'm great at quoting this franchise yet, unfortunately. But Aliens has, get away from her, you bitch. Remember that one, of course.
Yeah.
Number 2 is also Romulus. Just was in awe half the time. And listen, that's the only Alien movie I've ever seen in theaters. Very tragic. As I am a youngin', but Alien Romulus is the only Alien movie I've seen in theaters, so that also, you got to take that into account. Number 2, Aliens. I think this is the one I remember first seeing and love the characters and action. Just goes all out with a full-on xenomorph army and the Queen. Yeah, everything's kind of been said. It's true. Paul also has Alien Romulus. I enjoyed it in the IMAX theater. You spooked all your nerves. The gravity. Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that scene. I'm glad that you brought that up. I forgot, but I talked about that in my review. I loved the anti-gravity blood scene where they're floating through it,
Oh,
which that's
that was great.
yeah.
That I really enjoyed that the second time around, and I really got a better feel for it.
I don't think that had been done anywhere else in the franchise. I thought that was so clever.
No.
Oh, John, you also have Alien Romulus. My hope is that people that have never seen an Alien movie before will go back and see all the others. I think that's what's happening because that happened to me. I will be so honest. I didn't even know that Prometheus was part of the Alien franchise. I had maybe heard of the movie before, but did not know it was part of this franchise. So because of Alien Romulus coming out, I have gone back and now discovered the entire franchise, and I'm all in now. So yeah, that's definitely happening for people. You dig the analog tech? My dad always says that's dumb because our real life computers don't beep or whistle like they do in the movie. It's supposed to be in the future. I don't know. I don't mind that. I've never been on a spacecraft, so what do I know about the bells and whistles if they beep or not? I'm okay with that. So David, then Ash, then Andy as my favorite androids. Okay. Ash is, after seeing the whole franchise, I Ash is, I don't think he's in my top 3. Ash from the original Android. I think for me, it's so I don't know if I can choose between Michael Fassbender and David Johnson as David and Andy. And then my number 3 would probably be Lance Henriksen from Aliens, and briefly in Alien 3. So I don't know. What about you, Dad, with Ash?
Never really thought about that.
The androids?
I'm not going to make it up right now.
Okay, that's fair. Won't put you on the spot for that. But I guess I don't know if everyone's deduced our number 1s yet. Dad, I already know.
Yeah, well, some of the reasons that some people complain about it, I think is why it's such a great movie. And
wait, Romulus? What are you talking?
No, Alien. You know.
Oh.
My number 1's Alien.
Okay, just checking.
One of the notes that I made was it uses a lot of quietness in the movie. There's a lot of buildup until the action starts. And as Haunted Hippie mentioned earlier, they're out in space. They're by themselves. The ship is silent in the beginning because they haven't even come out of the pods yet. And I think that's why it's so scary. I think that the moment when the alien comes out of his chest initially is maybe the most famous horror moment in movie history. I remember thinking it was unbelievable. And then after watching all of these movies now over the last 5 weeks, I've seen so many of them come out of people's chests that it was getting to the point where it wasn't exciting me anymore, which was kind of a bummer. But I thought that Alien did a great job of, it was more minimalist, the whole thing. It was very simple. Ripley does not become the strong final girl until probably 3/4 the way through the movie. She's just kind of one of the other actors in the film. And the tension when Dallas goes into the air ducts and then they're following Dallas on this little thing with the beeper. There's just so many good parts of that movie that I think it's an all-time classic. And they don't throw in a lot of extra stuff. Oh, I also like the fact that you don't even know Ash is a android robot.
Huge plot twist.
So far into the movie. I liked when they went into the room to talk to Mother. It was just a lot of kind of simple things for 1979 that, for me, make it one of my all-time favorite movies.
The part that you mentioned with Dallas going into the air duct, when I first saw the original Alien movie, which we watched the first 4 movies, I want to say when I was like 18 or 19 or somewhere around then.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but that scene scared me the most. That was the most tense. And then the jump scare when it's right there next to him, like that that threw me. That absolutely was the most scared I had been watching that entire film. That was the most frightening scene to me. So yeah, uh,
I will
all good
say
notes.
another scene that I think is really well done and scary in that movie that happens before that, and that's when Brett is going around downstairs looking for the alien, but then looking for Jones the cat, and Jones the cat jumps out of the locker, and that jump scare was a really good one. And then he keeps looking, and he's still looking for the cat again, and then the alien gets him. I mean, that was a very tense scene as well, in my opinion.
Yeah, and you know what? It's a total joke now that a cat wailing sound or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of a joke sound effect in parody horror movies or spoofs or
Uh-huh.
whatever. It's the rare whatever. I feel like Alien was almost the origin, and it was such a great effective jump scare with the cat,
Yeah.
such a good fake out. And then what it ended up turning into is just kind of ironic that it became kind of the goof thing
Yeah.
to do a fake out with a cat. But Alien is, I think, I might need a I might need a fact check on that, but I think the first and the best to ever do it, to ever do the fake out with the cat. Just kind of funny what that became. But my number one, if you guys haven't figured it out yet, is actually Prometheus. I gave that movie a perfect rating, and on Letterboxd, I just said I will never be the same because I I don't know if it's because I'm at the point in my life where I'm trying to get all my ducks in order and whatever. I want to become a parent. I don't know if that's why it just hit me so hard at this particular moment of development with my brain chemistry. But the themes of trying to find your creator and how indifferent the universe is to that quest, because it is, I think, humanity's ultimate question. Why are we here? Why are we here? And the fact that Prometheus does such a thorough explanation and at the end is virtually just like, well, fuck you. Universe doesn't care. You're never going to get your answer, actually. Um, it the fact that it was just such a gorgeous film, the fact that that it kicks off with this alien guy, and he's drinking out of, I guess, like glacier water, which is crazy because of all the the little microbes and crazy germs and viruses and stuff that are probably living in glacier water, like on our planet, like most certainly. The fact that it starts with that, and that is like the origin of the aliens are a virus. I mean, they're just the way that the aliens evolve and the different forms we got to see in Prometheus. One of my favorite parts was the giant face hugger. I was like, oh my God, that's the OG face hugger. Like, you are kidding me right now.
Yeah.
And I wanted to read out this Letterboxd review that I thought just summed it up so well, from somebody named Alex Baker. Um, Kafka said the point of life is that it stops. For millennia, human beings have been trying to prove him wrong, to find out the purpose of existence and what happens after, and who and what God is. Prometheus is a near perfect exploration of what it would look like if we found God and discovered that he despised us, regretted making us to the point that he would destroy us all. What if God created a weapon that could destroy us all and create a more perfect life at the same time? And what if something we created turned that weaponized evolution against us after we reminded him time and time again that he was lesser than us, soulless, a pointless exercise in could? Imagine how disappointed you'd be. I was like, yeah,
That's
couldn't.
no, that's very well said. And I think the other reason I love Prometheus is I'm kind of bummed out in today's world that people in general are not as interested in space overall.
Yeah.
And with the question where we come from, and the question of what's out there, the question is, what are we capable of doing as a human race? I mean, I've talked to you before about this, Kylie, but the biggest moment in my life up until that moment was when they took one giant step for mankind, and we were sitting around the TV in Eugene, Oregon, my mom, my dad, and my sister and I, and it was incredible, and the whole world was watching it, and it brought
600
us
million viewers,
right. It brought
600
us
million people.
all together, and now the world is so fragmented. We're not brought together by positive things in hardly any circumstance today, which makes me sad. You know, it's very, very rare. And now people don't pay as much of attention to what we've been able to do. I mean, even starting with the space shuttle, we just started taking it for granted. Hey, wow, we got this giant airplane that could go, you know, back and forth, and we got the space station now. All the things that are happening. And Prometheus is the exact opposite of that. It's what I want. I want us to keep investing in space as humanity. I want us to have something that brings us together that's interesting and exciting and scary. And that's what I liked about Prometheus so much, besides the fact it was a great Ridley Scott movie. It just really was.
But, and also, because I totally agree, it's that discovery vibe, right?
Yes.
But then why is the disappointment in the movie so delicious to me? That's what I can't figure out. Do you know what I mean?
I do, and it's you know, some people are going to be very uncomfortable with that disappointment. And one of the very last lines of that movie, if I remember correctly, is Shaw saying to David, I don't want to go and find out where we come from. I want to go and find out where they came from.
Yeah.
Which I thought was a really great line at the end of that movie. And so that whole concept to me is still exciting. And I thought that's what he was exploring in that movie. Whoever actually wrote it, I know he directed it, but was that whole thing. So I understand why. I'm not surprised. Well, I am surprised, but I'm not surprised that you like that movie so much, because I really like that movie a lot too.
Yeah.
My problem is I divide them up in kind of Alien, and Aliens are over here.
Yeah.
And then all the other stuff is over here. And it's just a great movie.
Yeah, for sure. The the line that you brought up is super relevant, that I want to see where they came from. I think it's I mean, yeah, if we ever found our answer, okay, well, then where did they come from? If there is a God, well, who created you know, who created it? Like, we're never gonna know. We're never gonna know. I think one reason why the disappointment was kind of satisfying for me is that it's just a reminder. It reaffirmed kind of my views, I guess, that I think the most special thing about life is that it ends. I don't want to get into like religious views or whatever, but I'm just not personally someone that really believes in like your consciousness living on or anything. I don't believe in like a heaven or hell. I think the beautiful thing about life is that it ends, that we get this one shot. And to me, that's what makes it so beautiful. To me, that's not what makes it terrifying. I'm not scared for it to end. To me, that's what makes it so beautiful, because it is so special and it is so fleeting. And I think Prometheus kind of just reminded me of that, because I just don't concern myself with those answers. I'm very curious about the universe. I'm very curious about science, like you were saying. I mean, we both are very into space and exploration and all of that stuff. I love looking up at the stars, like, don't get me wrong, but I'm not going to waste my time. Like, I'm not going to be seeking those answers. I don't need that comfort. Like, so I guess, I don't know, maybe Ridley Scott and I just really see eye to eye on that. And that's why I had such a good time with Prometheus, and why on Letterboxd I was like, I will never be the same. So,
well, the whole space thing, I mean, one of the coolest things that you and I have done together up until this point in life was our spontaneous decision to drive up to Oregon and see
the path of totality for the eclipse.
Path of totality, where was another instance where I was so excited that all of these people were gathering. We went up to Oregon and we were at a hotel. It was the last room we could get in the hotel, and everybody around was from all over the country and the world. Went and got coffee in the morning. We drive the car, we get out by this overpass, and it's people all looking for this magical thing, right?
All the cars on the freeway were stopped.
Yeah.
The whole both lanes of the freeway, the world just stopped. Like, It was so cool.
It was so cool,
So
and it just reminds me of that. If I could see two movies, Fandango, if they bring back two movies from these 9 movies,
mhm.
of which, as you said on Patreon, I recently saw Lawrence of Arabia for the first time in my life, and I'm glad that I waited. I would want to see Alien and Prometheus if I get my
I didn't think you were
choice
gonna
out of
say
the
that.
9 movies on a big screen, baby.
Yeah. I've been neglecting the chat for I'm so sorry. Let me get back to it. Number 1, Alien, of course. Looks more modern than Alien 3 and really? I feel like Resurrection, I mean, it looks old school because it's all practical, but that's why I think it's so great. I think Resurrection looks great, but it definitely looks way better than Alien 3 for sure. Really need to see master the lighting and the less is more approach for sure. The original. Simple monster. Yeah, monster in the house scenario. Yeah,
Yeah.
good way to put it. All the scares come from the atmosphere, and yeah, absolutely. The original. All right, am I on an island with Prometheus or what? Oh, I have this story. My family was watching TV. We flipped the channel to Alien, and it was the chestburster scene. My sister and I never saw it before, and we were shocked. Oh, that's a good
Man,
story.
yeah.
That's my
Great
mouth fell to
scene.
the floor. Yeah, that's a good one. The chestburster scene has to be you said it was like the most iconic horror scene probably of all time.
I
I
think
know I
so.
would when you were saying that, I was trying to think if there's anything before that might be considered more historic.
Something from 2001: A
And
Space Odyssey, maybe.
which I haven't seen yet. But I was thinking maybe like the reveal in Psycho, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Alien, the chestburster scene might
A
be it.
chestbuster scene.
It might be
I'm
it.
telling you, man, as a 19 or 20-year-old sitting in that theater, and as John Landsberg mentioned earlier, they didn't have it in the trailer or anything. And I'm sitting in that theater. That was, wow, that's gross. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. How did they do that?
Yeah, some of the best practical effects ever done in horror up until that point. Like there
Absolutely.
there was nothing like that before.
No,
It's I mean the goriest horror movie of the 70s probably. I mean,
probably.
right? It's got to
Yeah.
be. It's got to be. Paul has Alien vs Predator at number 1. Fun to see our 2 icons at the end. I named the Predators Gary, David, and Larry. So random. Love it. John has Aliens at number 1. I was pumped for the sequel. Let's go back and kill some aliens.
Yeah.
Understandable. Oh my God, Leanne. Breaking my heart. Prometheus is too fun. Well, because also there's just, oh my God. Another image that I will never forget is the guy who is really he's framed as the main character, him and his wife, because they set these people up, they're in love, they're so excited for this this new discovery, whatever. And so everything about the framing of the filmmaking and everything is suggestive of the fact that it's him or his wife that are probably going to make it out in the end. They might be our final people, our final couple. That happens sometimes. And the fact that he is one of the first ones killed off, first of all,
Wow.
that the little worm thing is jumping in and out of his eye.
Oh, that's right. Oh, that's right. That's so gross. That's a good one.
And then that he is immolated. They set him on fire. Yeah. That he's just in front of his wife. Prometheus says, "We don't care. The universe does not care about you. It does not care about this husband and wife, and that they just made the greatest discovery in human history. Universe does not give a fuck. Light him on fire. He's done. He's dead."
That's right.
And people are bored watching Prometheus. I can't. Whatever. I think that I will defend Prometheus and Alien Resurrection more than anything I've ever had to defend in my life, and I will do it with honor and glee. Let's see.
Well, King of the Dead brings up, that cast in Prometheus, as he mentions, Idris Elba.
Oh yeah,
it was loaded cast.
Such a good cast. Holy cow.
Yeah.
I didn't even touch on that. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I'll go back and catch up a little bit more with the chat. My throat's starting to hurt because I've just been so excited today. I've been speaking very passionately about Prometheus and Resurrection. Oh, you wish that it was not part of the Alien franchise, but I felt like it fit. I totally get where you're coming from, but the I loved seeing the different forms, the early forms of the aliens. Like I said, that the giant face hugger is one of my favorite things I've ever seen in cinema.
Yeah.
I was floored by that because the face huggers are terrifying enough on their own. The fact, they wrap around your throat, they assault you.
So,
I mean,
so gross. Yeah, it's so gross.
it already was such a violation. One of the most violating things I've ever seen put to film already. Then you mean to tell me that they used to be as big as like twice the size of the human body and wet and suction you to the floor and I thought it was so inventive. Anyway, I feel like I haven't let you get a word in, Dad.
Violation's a really good point about the face hugger.
Yeah.
Because we only talked about the chest burster, but the face hugger was unbelievable in Alien, and then we eventually get the chest burster, which makes that even seem not as scary. Because at the moment when you're watching that in the movie theater in 1979, and that thing's on his face, and then they're shoving that thing down his throat, it's almost like some type of sci-fi rape going on by these face huggers in a way.
It 100%
some type of perverse sexuality to a lot of this stuff that happens in the Alien movies.
Well, that's why it's such a timely film, because that came, during, I guess, towards the tail end of like second wave feminism and stuff. And so there are all these themes of like, pregnancy, birth, assault, like, it's got all of that going on. And I think one of the reasons why it was so shocking, especially, is like, what do you mean it was a man that was assaulted and became impregnated?
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, some people are going to be annoyed by that, whatever. But I think it's true.
Oh, I think there's a lot of different things in this franchise that you can look at.
Because I'm just gonna say, like purely from historical context, I don't think that scene would have been quite as shocking if it happened to a woman. I think because just domestic violence and all of that is just so normalized in our culture, things like that happening to women. I think that's partially why it became so iconic. There's just, we've already been talking for over 2 hours. I think we could just keep going and going, but I'm starting to feel a little talked out. I've been yelling and flailing my arms around, and I don't know. Is there anything that I missed? Is there anything you want to you missed?
Oh no, I don't know. There's so much information. This is definitely one of these that we've done together that I think that the conversation could go on a lot longer compared to some others, because there's so many different aspects of this franchise and aspects of each individual movie, the historical context of it originally when it came out in 79, the movies that have come since then, the changes in culture over a period of time, that's why people like to talk about it.
Well, and things that have changed, but also things that haven't, like how much about it is still so relevant, So yeah, I just think I just got to cap us off somewhere. I feel like 2 hours is a good place. I know you got to get back to is the
US
tennis
Open. The
US Open. I was gonna say the Masters. That's golf.
That's golf. No, the US
you got to
Open
get back to the US Open.
I have on record.
Right. But I'm so thankful for everybody that joined us today and for sharing your rankings and sharing your thoughts. I really, really enjoyed this. This is one of my favorite rankings I think I've ever done, just because of how much I fell in love with this franchise, seeing a lot of it for the first time. Dad, I hope you've had fun. Thanks for joining.
I've had a great time.
Good. Yeah, I will be doing some watch alongs this week. The good people voted on Friday the 13th Part 4 and also Freddy vs. Jason, because we have a Friday the 13th this upcoming Friday. So going to be having, I'll announce those in the next hour or so. So just look out for that, everybody. I will see you this week. And if you're a patron, you'll see my dad again soon. If not, Dad, we'll get you on for the Predator franchise or something. But
what do we get? We're going to do, I can never remember the name of the Michael Keaton.
Oh, Beetlejuice. That's probably going to be on the Patreon, yeah.
Yeah, you had me watch the old one, so now I need to go watch the new one.
You do. So, yeah, lots of good stuff to look forward to if you are a fan of Father Hippie. I know I am. So, thank you guys so much for joining, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.